All right, a little sneak peek here. This is my uncle's WD-45, and we are going to have a tractor competition with him this winter to see who can get theirs done fastest. So here's a little bit over here, some parts over here, my grandpa's old shed here. Looks like there's a head. Yeah, parts scattered everywhere. There's the hood. So, anyways, so this is I don't know what year it is, WD-45. Really, you just have to put it back together, simple. What could be wrong with that? Oh, how could that be hard?
That's what she said!
Anyways, yeah, everyone knows that it's not that quite, not that simple. This is the before shot, before anything. I think it hasn't been touched for, 20 years, give or take.
That's what she said!
That's the sticky one. That's fun. Oh, this is the sticky one? Looks like that JB sprayed on right there. Yeah.
I've done that with other stuff before.
I was trying to get a snowboard going and straight away I'm all. Clear on that side? You're fine right now, yeah.
All right, Jacobson build-off, tractor build-off has started. We have got the old Farmall B in here, potentially leaking antifreeze somewhere, so that is pretty much going to be probably a full engine overhaul to depending on where the crack is, and or if it's just O-rings leaking around the sleeves. To be determined. In this episode, we're going to do some more investigation work to figure out where it's actually leaking at. Besides that, strip down everything. We're going to be sandblasting everything, fixing all the leaks, and then putting it all back together and doing a nice fresh paint job. Fix all the little dents here and there, make it into like a nice little show tractor. So that's the plan on the B engine fixing, and then also converting it to the 12-volt system, getting rid of this crappy 6-volt stuff because it's just a pain. And so that's that, and paint it. And then here's my uncle's Allis Chalmers WD-45. At least what's left of it right here. The rest of it is in my grandpa's old shop that my uncle brought in, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And you know how things happen, and it gets put aside. So we brought that over here, and he's gonna try to get it going. Hopefully, I don't know when the actual date is, but we're competing his tractor versus the B versus the C, and then a little sneak peek on the C. We found out the engine block has a crack in it, so that is going to take some more welding on we're going to do some welding on the engine block because it's kind of leaking antifreeze, so you know that's not a ideal thing. So that one's going to take a little more work too. So that one's going to be a full kind of not slight overhaul there, and then really just painted. I don't know if we're gonna get to that this year, but for sure the B we want to get done, and then my F20, the monster track, the one I lifted up and put bigger tires on. I want to get fenders on it and a couple other things, you know, maybe a roll cage, we'll see. So yeah, so it's really the B and the F20 versus the WD-45 that my uncle's working on. So it's a little competition here, family competition, bragging rights, and or there might be a prize or a consequence. We'll see. She is so overall, first looking at it, we'll need new rims, tires. This one's not too bad for cracks, but the left-hand side, there's some pretty good cracks in the carcasses. So yeah, so you're gonna have to get new rims anyway, so might as well get new tires. I'm pretty sure this tractor has fluid in it, and that's why this side's not too bad, but the other side's really bad. And then we got weight, so this thing is weighted up pretty good in the rear. And then what's left of it, I'm not quite sure what needs to be done on this guy. I heard steering box and all that. Also note, when you have the engine out, we almost lost the front axle. It slid out pretty far, so we almost lost that, since part of it, what's holding it, is the engine. So without that, you kind of just have this steering box. Might be connected to, I don't know, maybe the shaft. I don't know. It looked like it almost fell out. So note on that for anyone else doing this. So yeah, he got his work cut out here. Another rim. Oh yeah. Yep. We were able to pump some air in there, so that's surprising. But yeah, this is the tire that needs life. Is not the greatest. You know, some cracks here and there. Oh, we got a nail right here too. Look at that. Look at that guy. Awesome. Yeah. You know, some of these cracks, yeah, not too bad, but you start going deep into the carcass of the tire. Yeah, that's no bueno. It's not worth taking this tire off and putting on a new rim. So that's that. Yeah, so he has his work cut out. So I'll kind of just document throughout the venture that he's working on, kind of popping in and out, and giving you guys an update of the build off. WD-45 versus the B. So yeah. And then the B, we're going to be taking the tin off. We're going to be trying to pressurize the block to see where the antifreeze is leaking out. We're going to take the tin off, probably the head, or no, we're going to leave the head on, drop the oil pan, and we're going to tap into probably one of the petcocks for the antifreeze. There's one, I thought there was one on the block. Anyways, we're gonna tap into the cooling system somewhere, and we're gonna be putting probably 10 psi on it, whatever simulates running pressure, and then we're gonna drop the oil pan like I said, and then we should be able to see where the coolant is leaking from. So yeah, that way we can see if it's coming around the ring, or excuse me, around the sleeve. So that will kind of show us that we do in fact have a leaking O-ring, which is the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we got an internal crack somewhere, and that will be difficult. And then also besides that, we're going to be cleaning up this bolster here. We're going to be re-grinding it out, do a nice little groove in there, and then weld her up full. And then on the other side here, we're probably going to be plugging this hole, tap in, put a plug in this, so our thread insert, and then bolt that back up, just make it look somewhat factory, because this engine here is actually an industrial engine. So at one point, the original engine shitted out, and that was a common thing back then, is to get an old industrial engine that came out of a generator or whatever, and put in here, because it's the same engine pretty much, except for a couple things, and then that's why this notch is here to fit on the B. So with that, we got some work cut out for us. So let the build series begin. Big Willy out, in, out, I don't know. Big Willy here. Let's get to it.
Looks nicer. I see antifreeze down there, but in the middle, but it's a, wonder if it's dripping out in the middle.
Got some sludge.
Yeah, I know. But that, I suppose, I was surprised though. I thought it'd be just everything would just be rust inside this thing. I'm actually kind of happy with.
Got a little metal sliver.
Oh yeah, probably the first time this thing.
That's been off. It looked like it's been off. There's some goop around the.
Oh, here's one. Put it in. Oh, maybe might get lucky. I think you will. I just noticed something that we're gonna be sitting kind of the same way as you are, I think, with a weird motor.
I think it's a race car engine.
That's right. This thing factory. Someone patched the whole side. I bet you this thing was all blowing off.
It's a nice patch though.
Yeah, I know. And if it rusts through it, you just take it out and drill yourself the new. They already got the. Well, if they came, well, I suppose depends on if they're blind. This bolt's gonna be pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I say don't touch it.
I say touch it.
Well, just by taking those two bolts out, hopefully we didn't bust any silicone. I wonder if that's all they would have used, or.
I say we want to re-silicone because, you know, on the fresh paint job.
Yeah. Well, that's. But I mean, we could start taking it apart and bust every bolt off too.
This one will snap.
I don't know. It's one of those deals. Where do we stop? We should be able to maybe look when someone want to get a head off.
I know it's pretty milky down here.
Yeah, you can see it's milky in this. Because these are oil ones here, right? Yeah. Yeah, and they
Where?
These are.
Oh.
That's not oil. Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah. So it is definitely getting in. I suppose the only other thing is if it's cracked right in here, where the water, you know, then it's leaking down in there. Then we're.
Another thing we found was some weld on the head inside the water jacket on the exhaust runner. It's a pretty good weld. I don't know how they got in there, but it was probably a stick welder. But looking over the head and the block, we didn't see any evidence of a blown head gasket or leaking. And then here's the patch that we were talking about. Yeah, that's something for sure. And then you can see some sludge and antifreeze inside of the oil galley there on top of the cam there.
There's a lot of cracking going on. Yeah, that's something kind of like twisted.
It's 4 ton.
Yeah, she's a little crooked.
Oh,
Look at that.
I gotta just give. Oh, I bet you this one wasn't in the water.
This one will snap. Alright.
All right, at this point in time, we still haven't found a smoking gun on where the antifreeze is coming in at. So we're kind of worried that there is an internal crack inside the block. And then finding that big plate on the side and a pretty significant crack, hollow spot, where it sounds like the outer casting has separated from the inner webbing. We don't have high confidence in using that engine, so we're kind of going to plan WCQS, and we are going out and getting our Part C. We suspect it has a decent engine, so we're going to pull that in and see how bad it is, at least see if we can reuse the engine block and use the rotating assembly from the B. They're pretty much the same engine. Alright, so this is kind of last footage of the B I have for this episode. So far, the C engine looks pretty decent besides needing new sleeves. We'll see what the pistons look like when we get them out, but like I said, we could use B pistons. Yeah, overall, it seems fairly clean so far. Stay tuned until we disassemble it more, because I'm sure that we're going to find a couple more things on this engine, but who knows, so stay tuned. Then hopping over to my uncle's WD-45, a little update here. Front steering definitely was a struggle, and then here he's trying to get the steering box out of the frame. That was a struggle too. He's trying to fix all the leaks here, because plan is we are going to repaint it too, since the tin is pretty good. So, but that's the update on the WD-45 of my uncle's. Still trying to track down all the parts, figure out what he's missing, what he needs, next steps. So I'll give a little more update on next episode of the game plan of the WD-45. And with that, that concludes the first episode of the Jacobson's build-off, the Farmall B versus the WD-45. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Definitely helps out my channel analytics and all that good stuff. Doesn't cost you anything. So just heads up there, and stay tuned for the next episode. Big Willy out.